Hello everyone, I am Dr. Atya Arzo. Today I am going to discuss about basics of environmental science and ecology for all competitive examinations. It will be beneficial for you for each and every competitive examinations. Before going to this, first we have to know that what is environmental science. You can see here two words are here in environmental science. One is your environment, another one is your science. What is environment? Environment comes from French word that is your environ, which means encircle, surround, or around. And you know, science is the study about anything. So, the term environmental science is the study of our surrounding. So, the definition of environmental science is a study of our surrounding. And you know that there are two components of environments are there. One is your biotic component and another one is your abiotic component. What is biotic component? All the living things in this environment is coming under biotic component, and all non-living things coming under this environment is known as abiotic component. And now you can give the example of biotic component. Examples of biotic components is your all plants, animals and microorganisms. Similarly, examples of abiotic components are your soil, water, air. You can see here abiotic. Yeah, biotic. Biotic. Bios means living. So biotic is your living component. Abiotic. A means absentia. Bios means living. So absentia living. Absentia of living is your non-living. So biotic components are included your producers, consumers, and decomposers. What is producer? The organism which can be produced their own food is known as producer. For example, your green plants. Green plants can produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Why green plants can produce their own food? Due to presence of which pigment? Due to presence of chlorophyll. And consumers, the organisms which depend upon producer for their food is known as consumer. Consumer can consume food from producer. Examples of consumers are all animals. Similarly, the organisms which can degrade dead and decay matter like your bacteria and fungus is known as your decomposer. Okay. Then consumers again divided into different groups depending upon their food habits like herbivore. The organisms which only feed on green plants is known as herbivore, and the organisms only feed on animal products like flesh is known as carnivore, and the organisms feed on both plant and animals is known as omnivore, and the organisms consumes blood is known as sanguivores, and the organisms that feeds on dead and decaying biomass is known as your scavengers. And this is about your biotic component. And abiotic components are all different non-living components like atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and cryosphere. What is atmosphere? The places which is surrounded by air is known as atmosphere, and the places surrounded by water is known as hydrosphere. The places surrounded by rock and soil is your lithosphere. The places surrounded by ice caps and glaciers is known as cryosphere. You can see here in this picture layers of atmosphere. There are different layers of atmospheres are there. The lowermost layer up to 20 kilometers from the Earth's surface is known as troposphere, and then 50 kilometers from the Earth's surface is known as stratosphere, and 85 kilometers from the Earth's surface is your mesosphere, and 690 kilometers from the Earth's surface is known as thermosphere, and 1000 kilometers from the Earth's surface is known as exosphere. Here, all the spheres are categorized on the basis of the altitude and also variation of temperature. In troposphere, the temperature decreases from Earth's surface to the boundary of the troposphere, and then it will found to be increase. It will found to be increases, and then it is decreases. Then again increases. So the mesospheric layer is very coldish layer, and the thermospheric layer is your very hottest layer. And you can see here different zones of hydrosphere. Here is your photic zone, aphotic zone, benthic zone. There are different zones in hydrospheres are there. Photos means light. The zone in which light can be passes through is known as photic zone, and the zone where no lights are found is known as aphotic zone. Okay, the zone where benthas are found is your benthic zone. There are several zones are there, and here you can see different layers of lithosphere, such as at the upper layer of the earth crust is known as crust, and just below the crust mantle is there, upper mantle is there, then lower mantle is there, then below the mantle outer core is there, and below the outer core inner core is there. Some important points are here which is beneficial for your competitive examinations. Yeah, you have to remember it. It is very much important for all of you. So all of you try to remember it. The first one is the thermosphere is often considered the hot layer because it contains the warmest temperatures in the atmosphere. If anybody wants to write, then they can also write from here. Okay, I have summarized all the points here. The thermosphere is considered as hot layer because it contains warmest temperature in the atmosphere. And mesosphere is the coldest layer of the atmosphere. Mesosphere is coldest one. Then thermosphere contains ions and helps in wireless communication. Which layer helps in wireless communication? Your thermosphere helps in wireless communication. Similarly, in which layer meteors burns up? Meteor burns up in mesosphere. Okay, meteors burns up in mesosphere. Meteors burns up in mesosphere after entering Earth's atmosphere and before reaching Earth's surface. And in which layer ozone layer is situated? Ozone layer is found in remember in stratosphere ozone layer is found. Okay, in which layer commercial passengers jet fly? Jets fly through the commercial passengers jets fly through the lower stratosphere, not upper stratosphere. It is at lower stratosphere because there is very less disturbances there. And the aurora, northern light and southern light occurs in the thermosphere. In which layer aurora takes place? That is your thermosphere. And another point for important is from your atmosphere. Sometimes question will be like this: which gas is present in atmosphere in higher percentage, highest percentage? Now remember, nitrogen gas is present in atmosphere in highest percentage. And some questions also related to your days and dates, like which day is celebrated as World Environment Day, right? Your 5th June is celebrated as World Environment Day, and 22nd March is celebrated as World Water Day. 21st March is celebrated as World Forestry Day, and 22nd April is celebrated as Earth Day. Okay, this is very important for different competitive examinations point of view. So try to remember it. Then we go for ecology and ecosystem. What is ecology? The term ecology is derived from two words like your oikos and logos. Oikos means house and logos means study. So ecology is the study about a house or study about a dwelling place. Okay, who coined the term ecology? Scientist Ernest Haeckel coined the term ecology. Scientist Ernest Haeckel coined the term ecology. And here is two different scientists are there. Who coined the term ecology? It is Ernest Haeckel. And who is known as father of ecology? That is your answer will be E.P. Odum. Scientist E.P. Odum. Eugene P. Odum. If your question will be who coined the term ecology, then it is Ernest Haeckel. And if question will be like this, who is known as father of ecology, then your answer will be different. That is Eugene P. Odum. And what is ecosystem? You know that there are two components of environments are there. One is your biotic and another one is abiotic. And both the components are interrelated with each other. So the interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic components of the environment is known as ecosystem. Then who coined the term ecosystem? Scientist A.G. Tansley coined the term ecosystem. Who coined the term ecosystem? Here, scientist A.G. Tansley coined the term ecosystem. So there are two types of ecosystems are there, like your terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem. The land-based ecosystem like your forest, grassland and desert is your terrestrial ecosystem, and water-based ecosystem like seas, oceans, river, pond, etc. are your aquatic ecosystem. Okay, then we go for several questions which is important for your competitive examinations point of view, like the largest existing ecosystem. Which one is largest existing ecosystem on our planet? The world ocean. The world ocean is the largest existing ecosystem in our planet, which covers 71% of the earth's surface. Similarly, which one is the smallest ecosystem in the world? The temperate grassland. Remember, the temperate grassland is the smallest ecosystem in the world as well as on the earth. And the area of this grassland occupied by tundra only. Okay. Then which animal is the biggest animal in the world? Which animal is biggest animal in the world? The blue whale is the biggest animal in the world. And if we consider about the biggest on land, then it will be elephant. The elephant is the biggest on land. Biggest in world is your blue whale. And if question will be like that, the biggest animal on land, it will be elephant. And the world's largest forest is your Amazon forest. Which one is the world's largest forest? It is your Amazon forest. And which one is the world's largest lake? Then answer will be Caspian Sea. Caspian Sea is the world's largest lake. And if your question will be like this, which lake is the world's largest lake by volume? If a largest freshwater lake by volume, then your answer will be Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is the largest freshwater lake by its volume. If question will only the world's largest lake, then it will be Caspian Sea. And which one is the world's smallest lake? Smallest lake is your Bengsi Lake. Bengsi Lake, which is in my Lining province, was lately approved by Guinness World Records as the world's smallest lake. And which one is your world's largest desert? The Sahara is the world's largest desert. It extends across most of the northern part of Africa. And which one is your smallest desert? Your Carcross Desert. Carcross Desert is your smallest desert. Carcross Desert, which is featuring a series of northern sand dunes, which considered to be the smallest desert on the earth. Okay, here is some important questions in your examination point of view. Try to remember it. And you can see here your ecosystem, your community, population. There are some hierarchical organizations of ecosystems are there. And first of all, it is starting from your individual. Before individual, some species are there, then genus is there, then individual. Before individual, maybe you have already learned in your plus two level cell, organism, and your cell, organism, organ system, and a organism. Cell, organ system and organism. Then organism, it is an individual. That is one organism, that is one individual. When a number of individual combines with each other, they form a population. Okay, when a number of individual combines with each other to form a population, when a number of population combine with each other to form a community, similarly a number of community combines with each other to form an ecosystem, and a number of ecosystem form a biosphere. Okay, this is the hierarchical organization of ecosystem. This is all about your ecosystem. Now, another important point is in ecology is your ecological succession. What is succession? Succession means changes, gradual changes. Gradual changes in an ecosystem is known as ecological ecosystem. How gradual changes happen from one ecosystem to another ecosystem? You can see here in these photos. First one is your pond. If some people dump some waste or due to some external activities, some waste matters dumped inside this pond, and these ponds becomes converted into a barren land, and then the land is converted into a terrestrial ecosystem. So this type of gradual changes, it is not a sudden change, it is a gradual change. This type of gradual changes is known as ecological succession. Ecological succession is a series of predictable changes that occur in a community over long periods of time, and it is a gradual change. Suc- Succession happens in different stages, like first it starts with primary succession, then after primary succession perturbation occurs, after this perturbation secondary succession occurs. You can see here is a barren landscape, and then some pioneer species are growing here, and then intermediate community are found here, then climax community. The end point of primary succession is your climax community. And after that, this ecosystem maintains stability, and then the ecosystem tries to changes. And then intermediate community is here. After that, the end point of this succession is known as climax. Okay, this is known as ecological succession. The initial stage of succession is known as primer stage, and the end point of the succession is known as your climax stage. And each and every stages of succession is your year. For example, in your barren land, it is zero year. When it is in water bodies, then it is considered as your hydrosphere. When it is in both soil and water, is known as mesosphere. Similarly, different types of spheres are there. And in succession, some species are found from initial stage to end point of the succession. That particular species is known as your keystone species. That species is known as keystone species. This is a small video which is benefit for your competitive examinations point of view. This is only the introduction of environmental science and ecosystem, and I am going to upload more and more videos for you. So all of you can watch from this. I will describe and I will elaborate each and everything in further videos. This is only introduction for environmental science and ecology. Okay, thank you everyone.